Oh, I'm already filming. What's up? I'm Jacob, and I want to talk today about Joe X. Joe X's channel has come to an end. I actually purchased this Red Bull when I saw that all of his videos had disappeared earlier this morning. But then I saw why in his video, and I don't think Austria deserves that at this point. So I've got a lot to say about Joe X, and I'm going to try and make it pretty short if I can, if I am physically able. Joe X purchased knives, and Joe X broke knives. I have a feeling that Joe X was motivated to do this by his internal desire to understand for himself how tough knives were. I believe that it's likely that he saw advertisements and marketing from companies like Topps and wanted to see if they were true. And when he realized that some of these things he didn't believe were up to snuff, it probably motivated him to keep on going. So the issue is we've got a lot of people saying that Joe X's work was worthless or that he only made content for people who didn't know anything about knives. And generally what I see is people who really don't like Joe X who only know a little bit about knives. There was plenty of room to take Joe X's content and even what he said about knives and run with it without having any understanding of what he's talking about or the knives that he's reviewing or even the words that he's saying, and say that one brand or another sucks. And Joe X did that himself. He said whatever he felt like saying, when he felt like saying it, and how he felt like saying it. And I didn't always agree with his assessment. I like to look at more information and data in my comparisons. However, for all of the people talking about how he needed to be more scientific or needed to do one thing or another differently, if he needed to do that, so do you. He doesn't need to do anything. He made a channel for himself. He doesn't owe you anything. He doesn't owe manufacturers anything. And at the end of the day, the true beauty of Joe X's channel was the fact that he was not controlled by anything, to include wanting to be accepted by manufacturers. Now, I was bummed out to see people in the knife industry who know what they are looking about complain about Joe X and say that Joe X's content did not have any value. I have broken down some of Joe X's videos in the past myself, and there's a lot of value to be had there. And I want to, as an example, Joe X talked about the Frontier Bowie from Cold Steel. Everybody says, oh, he's just a Cold Steel fanboy. And I don't think that that's fair, because when he took the Frontier Bowie, he broke it. And one of the things that he said was that the tip just bent one way and the other way and one way and the other way and never broke. Then he broke it. We got to look at the grain structure. I can look at that and I can gather a lot of information as a guy who knows a bit about knives. And as a guy who knows a bit about knives and has a platform, I can turn and I can use that information that Joe X gathered for free, and I can use it as an opportunity to educate my viewers or whoever, because I do feel like I have a responsibility to try and help and educate people. And you know what? I would love to help and educate some manufacturers as well. There is an incredible amount of data that can be gathered from Joe X tests. Now, we are talking about one knife per test, so there's always the potential for something that he tested to be a fluke. But you know what? Who else is buying 5 to 10 of a single knife and then spending thousands of dollars and an entire week to scientifically test them just to say whether or not they are what they are claimed to be? The issue is we get a product launched from a company like Topps, like the Operator 7, And Topps already has a reputation for making tough knives, and these things aren't going to break in their 1/4-inch 1095 steels. And then they release a knife in 1075, a considerably tougher steel, in 3/8 of an inch thick, and you would think it would be, because of that, even far and beyond tougher, and it was weaker than their normal 1095 because they have a giant manufacturing flaw in the design. And things like that need to be pointed out, right? Now, how do manufacturers handle Joe X's testing? Well, I'm sorry, I'm going to talk about Topps again. I see all of these little channels popping up saying that Leo Espinosa gave them a knife and with destruction in the title of the video. So you're faced with someone who is showing destroying your knives and you don't really like the results. Do you change things or make things right? Or do you find some shills to continue to push your product? I can't guarantee you that those things are directly correlated, but that's what I see, and I don't have any strings attached. So I'm going to say what I see. Topps has never given a crap about me. I've been doing this for 10 years, and there have been plenty of opportunities for potentially Topps to improve things or whatever else, and never once. I've reached out to them plenty of times. I've talked to them plenty of times. Never once have I seen even an iota of giving an absolute piss. The reality to that, by the way, is my channel, 30,000 subscribers, or Joe X's channel, 30,000 subscribers, and way more viewership than me, is irrelevant because manufacturers can just do that. So if they don't care about the product, then bada bing, bada boom. They just make it go away. I don't like that, though, so I'm going to keep talking about it. Joe X, at the end of the day, love him or hate him, got the knife industry talking like nobody else that I have ever seen since, like, Cliff Stamp. And the people who are complaining about Joe X, or were complaining about Joe X the absolute loudest, were making money off of Joe X's content hand over fist because people were talking about their product, and that is value. Bussy knives. I bought one. I wanted to test one because of Joe X. I know a lot of people who would never have heard of the Bussy name now know of it. And whether you feel like they know of the Bussy name as Pussy or Pussy or whatever else, or you feel like they might actually be interested, these people that might be mocking a brand, in a little bit, they might think, you know what? How bad are these knives actually? It does look pretty cool. I think I want to buy one. If people are talking about your brand, you're selling. You can see it time and again, especially knife nerds talking back and forth and talking about manufacturers. And this is also a positive thing for the entire industry because it leads to the sharing of information and knowledge. And that is where the people who should be educators in this industry have failed. As people have been asking me nonstop what happened to Joe X. Well, you saw his video. You saw problems with the Austrian government. He says that he doesn't have First Amendment rights like we have in America. And we see that it is affecting his personal and private life. So I can only assume that whatever happened, somebody had some problems with Joe X, whether it's a report or whether it's a threat of a lawsuit or whatever else. And most likely his work caught wind of it and saw what he was doing, or his government, and forced him to put the kibosh on it. So there you go, guys. It is a bummer. I think the entire industry will be worse without Joe X. One thing I want to do is, I first heard about Joe X through Essie. Somebody commented about how Hultifor's GK was tougher than an SE5, and then on the SE Facebook group, I saw a whole bunch of people talking about how he broke an SE, and you know what the guys at SE did? They shared his video themselves. This is why I like SE. They're freaking a good company. They're not a bunch of freaking turds. They're smart, clearly. It seems like everybody else is stuck in marketing from 1990 or 2000. So there you guys go. This is my tribute to Joe X. Maybe someday I'll even do a Joe X tribute playlist on YouTube. I've got a whole bunch of knives slated for breakage. I won't break them the way that Joe X does, but I could maybe throw in some Joe X flair there. We could have a good time. I'm gonna break them anyways, so I might as well. Thank you for watching, and I guess check out the description box below if you want to see how you can support your channel. This channel. I guess that's it.